Today, we'll be looking into the top 10 songs of 1963. 1963 was one of those magical years where pop, rock, and soul all blended into something unforgettable. These songs weren't just hits, they were the soundtrack to people's lives. So let's take a walk through memory lane. But real quick, before we dive into number 10, if you like this kind of content, hit that like button and consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing you more music history gems like this. All right, here we go. Starting at number 10 is Walk Like a Man by the Four Seasons, released in January 1963. This was their third #1 hit, and it had that classic Frankie Valli falsetto that practically defines the 60s. The song was written by Bob Gaudio and Bob Crewe, and fun fact, they recorded it during a literal fire at the studio. The engineer wanted to stop, but Crewe made them keep going. That's dedication. The song's bold beat and catchy hook made it an instant classic.
Soon you'll be crying on account of all your lying. Oh yeah.
Your figure will start to spread.
Your fallen arches will drop like lead.
But this
Dominique, s'en allait tout simplement.
at number 8 is Dominique by the Singing Nun, released in November 1963.
Dominique, mon bon père, regarde-nous simples équipes pour
Yep, this one's wild. Janine Deckers was a Belgian nun who recorded this French folk song about Saint Dominic.
I will tell of Dominique as I sing this little song. And
She wasn't trying to be famous, but somehow her sweet voice and simple melody captured America's attention.
Dominique, notre père, combattit les albigeois.
It topped the Billboard Hot 100, proof that music has no boundaries.
Dominique, Nique, s'en allait tout simplement. Routier, pauvre.
Hey, Paula, I wanna marry you.
Holding down number 7 is Hey Paula by Paul and Paula, released in October 1962.
Been waiting for you.
This track came out of a college radio show. Ray Hildebrand, Paul, and Jill Jackson, Paula, were just students with a dream. They recorded the song locally, and it took off. The lyrics are pure puppy love, and the chemistry between the two singers made it feel so real. It's like hearing a prom night slow dance in real time.
I wanna marry you too, if you love.
She wore blue velvet.
And sitting at number 6 is Blue Velvet by Bobby Vinton, released in August 1963. Bobby Vinton took this older song and gave it a silky, romantic twist. His version oozes nostalgia. It's smooth, lush, and full of longing. Decades later, David Lynch would use it in his film Blue Velvet, adding a surreal, haunting layer to an already timeless tune.
Bluer than velvet were her eyes.
Before we break into the top 5, take a second and drop a comment below. What's your favorite song from 1963? And who do you think deserves the #1 spot? I'm really curious to see which tracks still hit home for you. Starting off the top 5 is He's So Fine by the Chiffons, released in March 1963. This is pure girl group magic. The Chiffons were high schoolers from the Bronx, and this track with its do-lang, do-lang, do-lang is absolutely iconic. It was written by Ronnie Mack, who sadly passed away before the song blew up. Years later, it was the center of a lawsuit with George Harrison's My Sweet Lord. That's how catchy it was.
He's a soft-spoken guy.
Listen to the rhythm of the falling rain.
At number 4 is Rhythm of the Rain by the Cascades, released in November 1962.
The only girl I care about has gone away. Louder.
This song was written by lead singer John Gummo while he was stationed in the Navy. How cool is that?
You don't care. I can't love another with my heart somewhere.
It's got those dreamy rain sounds, a soothing melody, and a melancholy vibe that hits just right. You can practically feel the drizzle when you hear it.
Be alone again. The only girl I care.
Why does the sun go on shining?
Taking the number 3 spot is The End of the World by Skeeter Davis, released in December 1962.
Why do the birds go on singing?
This one is heartbreaking in the best way. Skeeter Davis sang it like she really meant every word. It's about heartbreak so deep, it feels like the world's ending, but set to a beautifully soft, almost hopeful melody.
Why do the stars glow above?
Fun fact, it crossed over multiple charts: pop, country, and adult contemporary. Not many songs do that.
Why does my heart go on beating?
If everybody had an ocean across the U.S.A.
At number 2 is Surfin USA by the Beach Boys, released in March 1963.
Surfin USA. You'll catch him surfing at them.
Ah yes, California Dreams. This was the Beach Boys really coming into their sound. Tight harmonies, surf guitars, and that infectious energy.
Stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing.
It's basically Chuck Berry's Sweet Little 16 with new lyrics, and Berry eventually got songwriting credit. Still, it kicked off a surf rock wave that defined a generation.
Crazy little shack beyond the tracks.
And finally, at number 1 is Sugar Shack by Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs, released in June 1963.
Made out of wood, espresso coffee.
This one ruled the charts, literally. It was number 1 for 5 weeks and became the year's best-selling single. The Fireballs were originally an instrumental group, but Jimmy Gilmer joined and gave them their vocal edge. Sugar Shack had that organ riff, that quirky bounce, and just enough charm to get stuck in your head for days.
Yeah, honey, to our sugar shack. Oh, yes.
And that's it. These tracks were amazing and defined a decade of great melodies and songs, proving that 1963 was truly an incredible year for music.
You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too.